Guys, it is the Champions League final. Finally, it is August. I don't know why we're in August and we're still playing football, but that's the climate we're in. We've got PSG in their first Champions League final ever versus Bayern Munich, who are looking to complete a treble. Now, Lisa, I'm going to start off with you. We're going to review this PSG team. We're going to look how they've had this very decent season. They won Ligue 1 comfortably, as they would do, and now they're in their first Champions League final. So what does it feel like as a PSG fan, finally seeing your team in the final for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. There's been so many disappointments with this PSG team. I think every year I say I'm done supporting them after the famous remontada with Barcelona and then the loss against Manchester United. It's good to finally see this team be where they really should be. I mean, they have an amazing team. They have the most expensive attack in Europe. Mbappe and Neymar alone cost more than Bayern's squad against Lyon. So really they should be in the final. And this was the objective since the Qatari takeover. So it's taken a while to get here, but it's amazing to see it. I'm sad I'm not in my hometown in Paris when we hopefully win on Sunday, but it's been really good. And it's just great to see this team come together. I think, Neymar's really come into his own in this team, and he's really taken this leadership position that we've wanted him to take, and that he was, that so much money was spent on him to take. So very happy. Hopefully it goes well. Who knows what happens? It's football, but it'll be a very, very tough opponent, but we'll have to see what happens.
That's you know what, I totally agree. We're finally seeing Neymar come out of his shell and finally take PSG to where they're supposed to be, really, really and truly.
Exactly.
Trey, I want to ask you, as my fellow Man United fan, I want to ask, normally, like, you've seen PSG mess up, especially in the Champions League. Do you think this is the year that they're going to do it? And if so, why?
I'm still skeptical of PSG, even though it's their first final, which is good for them to achieve, but it should have been sooner than later, because they've had a good enough team to get into these positions, but it's just a mentality thing. As what was it, last year they got knocked out by, well, a few years when they got knocked out by, was it, that was Barcelona. Was it 2017 where they got knocked out by Barcelona in the comeback, and they haven't really reached a big final stage only till now. They have a good enough team, but it's just I don't know for Tuchel. I don't really rate him as a manager personally. I've spoken about this with Kojo a bit. I don't think he's that good of a tactician. Well, I mean, it's good that he got through the Leipzig game, but I think Bayern, with what they're doing with Hansi Flick, I think he's a good enough coach, and he's got a good enough team in every area of the department to go at PSG and probably win it. Yeah.
So, speaking of Bayern, Abbas, I want to get on to you because I know you definitely got some Bayern propaganda up your sleeve. The way Bayern have been playing recently, tell me, how are PSG going to try and stop Bayern's attack?
So, the way you stop Bayern's attack, honestly, I don't believe you stop Bayern's attack, but you play them against themselves. So, they have a high line. You have Mbappe, Di Maria, and Neymar. You have probably the fastest attack going forward in probably the entire in the entire European competition. You try to exploit that. You allow Alphonso Davies to push forward, to get in behind if you can do. Jerome Boateng, for me, is still somebody who is quite vulnerable. You saw that against Barcelona with Luis Suarez. Although the goal didn't hold any value, he still was susceptible to that. David Alaba, the fact that he scored an own goal, again, you can get at this Bayern defence. Now, can you really stop the attack? I personally don't believe so, because I think that both frailties between both teams right defensively. Going forward, I do personally believe PSG have a better attack pace-wise. Now, are Bayern Munich more calculated? 100%. Do I still have faith in Bayern Munich to win this? I don't personally think so. It's that thing with when we won the Champions League in 2012, where it was written in the stars. I believe the Atalanta victory, the way it happened, really sets up PSG this year to win it all. the idea that this Mbappe and Neymar project that went along, the amount of money that was spent in, I think finally it's coming together. They'll win the tournament only because you've seen seasons where Neymar has been injured and they've ended up losing a big lead. This season, it was when Neymar was healthy, Mbappe was injured, but they were able to come back and win. I think a victory like that is one that helps them win. They won't stop this attack, but they can attack this back line quite easily because Bayern Munich play a very high line. And with the pace, if they're smart enough, they can dictate and get through. I don't know Verratti's health condition. I don't believe he's going to play. Lisa, you can probably tell me on that. But I just personally have an idea that PSG, if they are smart enough, they can actually win this game by attacking the back line. You can't really stop this by an attack.
That's a really good point. Abdi, what about you, bro? What's your views on this game?
I agree with Abbas. There's some weaknesses in both defence. Like you said, Boateng lost his pace. Not really as good as he used to be. PSG as well, they've shown in the past, they've got the defence is a bit weak. For example, the Atalanta game. But if I had to put money on the team, on someone to win it, I would probably be Bayern. I think going forward, they've scored how many goals? 7 against Tottenham, 8 against Barcelona. They've got too many goals in them. It's just about PSG stopping them. I'm not sure they'll be able to do that.
Kojo?
Yeah, I see Bayern win this one personally. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, and the reason I say that is because Abbas and Abdi both mentioned it. If you look at Bayern, they haven't been great defensively. Like, I still think they're a better defensive team than PSG, but they're playing a high line, and I feel like if they're going to play a high line on Sunday against this PSG attack, that's going to be very costly and very deadly because with Mbappe and Neymar's speed, the fluidity of their attack is going to cause them problems. You saw Lyon create a lot of chances yesterday against them. And they could have 2 or 3 goals, let's be real. Barcelona had a lot of chances against them. So I feel like Bayern coming into this game playing a high line. And just, for me, Abbas, he's a good player, very good footballer, very good fullback, world class, but he's not world class centre-back. And I think they're going to deploy him again in that centre-back role. Boateng's not the player he used to be. I don't think he's been at world class level since 2016, personally. And I feel like the centre-back issues is probably going to be costly for them. But as they can score a lot of goals and they're very ruthless and they're so potent, so calculated, I thought that's going to be very, very deadly for PSG, and I don't see how PSG will win this game personally. So I personally think it will be like a 5-0 victory to Bayern, and Bayern will win the Champions League on Sunday.
Pretty confident there with Bayern's attack, but then again, I don't blame you. They scored 100 goals in the Bundesliga last season, so I don't know how PSG are going to stop this attack. But Abbas, I want to go on your point, as you said, how we've seen Neymar take, and Lisa said this as well, how we've seen Neymar taking this leadership role. That performance against Atalanta and the one against Leipzig, where do we put Neymar in the scale of one of the best players right now? Are we going to put him? Is he one of the best players in the world right now?
So if I was to take this, I know this is going to sound controversial. I'm not the biggest Neymar fan, but if I'm going to sit here objectively, I still see Messi as the best player in the world. I'm happy to put Neymar as number 2. I really am. I see Ronaldo. I see him slowing down. Although he still can score goals, when you look at Ronaldo's overall game, it's not as effective as a Neymar. Now, 100% Neymar in that game needed Mbappe to get over the hurdle, which is fine. But when you look at Neymar as a player himself, the fact that he can dribble, the fact that he can take people on, the fact that he can shoot, he's the creative. You take him out of that team, albeit I do think Mbappe is just as good enough to take PSG to a certain level. You need Neymar to complement them to take him to the next level. I just can't objectively, for me, put Messi behind Neymar based on talent. I just think Messi just is that person that's always going to be number 1. But I do think Neymar right now is the second best player in the world. If he wins this tournament, I know the Ballon d'Or voting, it might be stopped, but I would probably give it to him if it was still going on as well.
Lisa, I want to get your views on this. Are the PSG fans finally realising Neymar that he is one of the best players in the world?
Yeah, I mean, I think that French media at the beginning of the season was quite critical of Neymar, just because at one point Mbappe had kind of taken over as the leader of the team when it was kind of Neymar's role. But since we've come back, since we've started again, Neymar's really taken that on. We saw it during the Atalanta match, but especially for the Leipzig match, and he won man of the match even though he didn't score, but he really led the team. He created the most chances, and he actually ended up giving that trophy to Choupo-Moting, who scored, which kind of shows the kind of leader that he is. But I would put him third behind Cristiano Ronaldo. I would say Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Neymar, just because I think that now we're seeing him because he's in full form. He's not injured. We're seeing his talent. So I think another season he shows that he's fit again, and definitely he might take over for Cristiano Ronaldo. But I think that just everything Cristiano Ronaldo has accomplished in his career, and even now at his age, I would still put him above. But I think that Neymar has really come in, and I think that PSG fans have really embraced him, and that he's really embraced PSG. The first few seasons, there was this back and forth with Barcelona. We weren't really sure, but you can tell that he's really happy. Him and Mbappe's relationship is amazing off and on the field, and it really shows. So definitely Neymar could be a contender for Ballon d'Or. I would still probably give it to Lewandowski, but he could be a very close second this season. I agree.
Okay, so let's talk about Lewandowski, because this is his best season ever. He's literally 2 more goals away than tying Cristiano Ronaldo's his single season Champions League record. So, guys, I want to ask, how do you stop Lewandowski, and especially in this season? This is probably his best season. He's playing under a very good Bayern attack right now with the likes of Gnabry, Thomas Muller still doing bits. So, how are you going to stop this Bayern team? I know everyone was saying that the high line that PSG play and the high line that Bayern play is going to be a high scoring game, but what do PSG need to do to get the victory?
I think they may just need to be aggressive and be physical. I feel like if you're just being aggressive and physical, you're obviously going to put some physical bearing on these players. And again, the most obvious, don't play a high line. Because that's you're not going to concede goals. Look at Serge Gnabry, look at his pace, Muller's technical ability. And for me, I just feel like just staying, concentrated for 90 minutes is very, very important. They can't have no lapses of concentration, especially when you're Bayern are known for having, putting good balls into the box, and Lewandowski is a very good header of the ball. And I feel like if PSG have any chance on winning this game and negating Bayern's offense, you need to stay in the game defensively for 90 minutes. Don't play a high line. That's the most smart thing to do, let's be real. Don't play a high line. And just be physical and aggressive and just go at Bayern. Don't show any weakness. Be confident. And when you get a chance, take it. And again, Neymar needs to get his finishing boots because he's had a lot of chances and he hasn't scored them. I know Mbappe can finish. Di Maria's done really well. Shout out to Di Maria. He's been amazing. So it's a combination of things how they can stop Bayern and stop Lewandowski. So, yeah.
Abdi, Trey, what about you guys?
To stop Bayern Munich, as Kojo said, not to play a high line, obviously, and just don't get caught. As you saw with Alaba, he got caught in a sticky situation, even though they won the game. Just that slide and just the slide tackle that he made to make the ball go in as an own goal, it's not wise to play that type of line, even though Bayern were very confident against Barcelona and very dominant and potent to score as many goals as they did. They scored 8. But against PSG, with Mbappe and Neymar, who are very much electric, powerful players who are very direct and very creative, and the IQ level is very high for them, they will exploit that and they will find a weakness in that Bayern Munich backline and they will terrorize them. But I still feel even if Bayern do play a high line, I still think Bayern have got the quality and are more, more team balance to get the job done. As you see, Thiago and Leon Goretzka in that 2 pivot role, they're very crucial for Bayern Munich, and Thomas Muller as well. Big shout out to him, creating chances for Lewandowski and Serge Gnabry. You saw the goal that he scored yesterday against Lyon. Took on about 4 or 5 players and hit it top corner. So I feel they've got a lot to show, and yeah, they will do it.
I think the way to stop Bayern is to stop the supply around Lewandowski, especially Gnabry, Goretzka, Perisic, and the overlapping runs with Davies. Because you can see in the last few rounds, Davies has been literally up and down the pitch and crossing it back to Lewandowski. that's where a lot of the opportunities have come for Bayern. So if PSG can stop that, I think they stand a good chance.
What I wanted to ask is, hypothetically, if PSG lose this final, will this season seem as a failure? I know it's their first Champions League final, and it's the first time Neymar's been fit, and he's brought them to this final. But if they seem to lose it, do you feel like, one, this season might be seen as a failure, and two, do you think we'll ever see PSG back in a Champions League final? Like, I know. It's the way I see it, I don't see Bayern Munich are a very good team. They're probably the best team in the world right now, so you can see them back in the final very soon. But it is PSG team. They had. I'm not going to say they had easy teams, but they had an easier route than Bayern Munich. So do you feel like this PSG team is good enough to get back to start go toe to toe with the likes of I wouldn't say your Real Madrid and Barcelona's, but they're not good right now. But with the PSG team, are they going to be in the mix next season? Do you feel like, will they need a couple more signings? Will they just need Neymar and Mbappe to stay fit? Like, what do you feel like this PSG team needs to? And fair enough, if they win it, then they can do it. But will they be able to retain it? If that makes sense.
Well, first of all, I'm going to answer your first question. If they don't win it, let's say they lose to Bayern, would it still be counted as a season which is not good? I feel like, for me, it's yes and no, because they got the Champions final. It's the first ever time they've done it. And, getting to Champions final is not easy, let's be real. But it's also a failure because you spent loads of money in these past 8 years or 9 years since, the Qatar takeover and so on. And your ultimate objective is to win the Champions League. The French League and the League Cups and the French Cups and Super Cups, let's be real, you're expected to win that quite easily. Your main goal is to be, the best team in Europe and be the kings of Europe. But then again, coming back to my main point, it's also seen as, it's not that bad because you're facing Bayern Munich, a very good team, which have been conquering and, beating teams left, right, and centre and just been scoring bare goals. So I think it'll be a bit 50-50. But to comment on your second question, whether they can get to get to another Champions League final and maybe win it next season or the other seasons to come, that all depends on their recruiting. I still think they need a new back line, personally. Silva's going to leave. Marquinhos is okay, but he's not, for me, a world-class standard centre-back. I still think they need new full-backs, maybe a new goalkeeper, personally. So I feel like the midfield's fine with Herrera, Gay, Verratti, them players there. Of course, the attack is amazing. It's fluid and it's electric. But if PSG want to be in the stage again, if they win the final on Sunday, if they want to repeat and go back-to-back Champions League or just win more Champions League titles, or just be at that stage again where you're constantly competing for, major honours like the Champions League, they need to, for me, they need to kind of, revamp their team, more in the defence and goalkeeper positions, personally.